Hi everybody, happy March. I am going to do this challenge along with Cindy at Studio Lou. She is hosting a mass make March. Basically to build your ephemera stash. I don't normally function with an ephemera stash, but I keep feeling like maybe I should. I typically work on my ephemera as I'm creating my journals, but it certainly would be nice to have a stash to work from. You'll have to excuse the background noise. The weather here in Arkansas is pre-tornado-y. If you live in the South, you know what that feels like, and it feels great outside. So my doors are open, my windows are open, and hopefully I'll maintain electricity as the storms come in. But anyway, so I live close to an airport, so you may hear a little bit of that going on in the background. But anyways, so I'm going to do this challenge. I'm going to do it to the best of how she's got it as far as following along. But I will say on this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is the 3rd, 4th, and 5th days, I have an event going on, and so I will not be making time to do a video or even actually to be crafting. So, but the 3rd is pockets, the 4th is belly bands, and the 5th is fabric flips. All 3 of those I want to do, but I'm going to rearrange things a little bit because I don't do hole reinforcers. I'm curious to see what Cindy's going to do with that, because all I know hole reinforcers are those little white stickers that you get from, office supply stores. So I don't know what to do with that. So I'm going to skip that one and put number 3 in that spot. So on the 28th, I'll do pockets. Die cuts. I like die cuts. I don't have any in my stash, and I don't create them. So I'm going to skip that one and put number 4 belly bands in there. And then number 31 is punched elements. Right now, the only punch I have is a circular punch, and I love it. Well, and I have a corner punch, but those are technically the only 2 punches I have, and so there's really not a lot to do with those. So, and I don't have a stash of them to work with. So I'm going to skip that one and move number 5, fabric flips, over there. So today, I just kind of wanted to give you a heads up that I'm going to be following along, kinda, except for 3 days, but I'll make them up, but I'm skipping a few things. So anyways, you may or may not care. So yeah, that's that. But today is journal cards. This one, to me, kind of sounds so simple. And I was playing around kind of preparing for what I was going to do for this and for the others on this list. And I just kept coming up with ideas, and I was like, oh my gosh, I could do that, and I could do that. And so I've got these little stashes. I've got, like, for journals that I'm working on in the background. So I'm going to kind of work on 2 or 3 different things. Actually, I guess not really to build my stash, but for future journals. So, yeah, I guess it'll work both ways. So yeah, we're going to jump into this and see what happens. Like Cindy, if you've seen her video for today, she allowed an hour for crafting and creating, and so I'm going to try to do the same. Typically, when I get into this groove, I don't I don't pay attention to time, but I'm going to try to tonight. So, and of course, I got the weather going on. I don't know if you can hear it raining now, but so that may interrupt, but hopefully not. So I'm going to set that aside and get started on journal cards. First and foremost, I thought this was the craziest thing. I was going through my stash of stuff, and I came across this green tea box piece. And if you guys have seen my Miss Maples story, she's in one part of it, she's sitting in her chair sipping green tea, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. So I'm going to trim this down, make a quick journal card out of it, and I'm going to tuck that in that book, just because, again, I think it was so cute and so appropriate, and I just don't know when I will ever use green tea, this little green tea card. I can't decide if I want to keep that name or not. I think I will, just because, you know, just because. So yeah, I just thought that was pretty cute. I thought that would be a cute way to get it started, to go ahead and get this out of my way. And of course, like I said, I will tuck it in there. Oh, I forgot my glue book. 1 second. You know, you think you're so prepared to get started, even without a video going. You think you're so prepared to get going, and then you sit down and 10,000 other things you realize are not where you need them to be. And I say that because I'm in a small apartment, and I have a creative space. One of these days, once it's cleaned up, I'll do a little video for you guys. It's a pretty neat little space. But I function on my kitchen counter. My space is back there. Beautiful table. My daddy made it. It's big. It's stainless steel top. It's perfect. It's wonderful. But it is covered with stuff right now. So it's hard for me to, I'm going to trim that up a little bit. It's hard for me to create there, especially doing journals, because if any of you do journals, you know, it takes up a little bit of space. Initially, my creative outlet is collage. That's generally what I do. And I can collage in a little space, you know. I can have all my junk here around me and collage in a little space. But for journal making, I feel like I have to have this space here and this space here and over here, and I set this aside, and it's like I feel like I'm spread all out. And so with that, it tends to work better for me to spread all out on my kitchen counter, which I guess is fine unless I have company, or unless I want to cook or do something other than make journals. So, so yeah, that was really quick, but I think that'll be cute to tuck in there with Miss Maple, her little green tea going on. I thought that was cute. The other kind of theme I've got going on is a Western. This is not Western, but I just love this little teapot, and I'm playing around with some Alice in Wonderland journals. Apparently I can't cut and talk at the same time. That's funny. Anyways, I'm working on some Alice in Wonderland journals, and I say this is a teapot. It's really not, now that I look at it. It's like a casserole dish or something. Oh well, we're just going to go with it. But anyways, I keep coming across this in my stash, and it's like, I've got to do something with this little pot. Again, I thought it was a teapot, but now that I look at it for real, it's a little casserole dish. So we're going to do something with this little casserole dish. Initially, I thought about just sticking it down on some painted paper. I have a stash of painted paper, scrap, basically, newspaper with paint on it. But I also have like book pages with paint on it. I have a whole stack of painted papers. But I don't know that I'm going to do the blue. I think I'm liking this. This is from some more painted paper. I think I'm liking that for whatever weird reason. So I think I'm going to go with this. It's thicker paper, but I feel like I would be better to stick it on some, you know, just to give it a little bit more backing. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So you will quickly learn that I'm probably too OCD to be doing journals. It's so funny to me to watch Cindy. She's a huge inspiration to me, so you'll notice I talk a lot about her, but she's not the only person I watch. I do watch several people on YouTube, but she's my favorite, so that's just it. But I watch her, and I think it's so funny to me because it almost makes me cringe when she just takes the ruler and just kind of lines it up and rips her paper, and I guess I'm just too OCD for that. I just can't do it because if it's crooked, then that's going to bug me. And it seems every time I do that, it's crooked. So we're just going to stick this on here and hope for the best on the other side. So yeah, I think it's really funny to watch Cindy just rip it. And, you know, I mean, she does a little bit of measuring, but whew, not so OCD. Well, I guess that glue's not going to work. So I was wondering about that because this has a little bit of a texture going on. So we will just go with some real glue. And I watch a lot of you, and you use like art glitter glue or Fabri-Tac or whatever. I haven't ventured into that. I mostly use Weld Bond because it does wood, tile, glass, foam, stone, ceramics, paper, you name it. Fabrics, you name it. And I just love it. I use it a lot in my collage work when I do any kind of 3D elements. And so it's a favorite of mine. So that's the glue I use. And then, of course, paper to paper, I use just your regular glue stick. This guy is my favorite, but they're hard to find. It's a permanent one, but they're hard to find. And they're kind of clunky to use because of their triangle, and you have to twist them up with this. But anyways, it's still my favorite glue to use, glue stick-wise. Weld Bond is my favorite glue. Again, it sticks anything to anything. Sometimes it takes a minute to dry, but it's typically worth it. And if I find something that it won't hold, then my next resort is hot glue. And I rarely use hot glue, so that should tell you something. That should tell you something. But it's great. It does fabrics, metals, glass, wood, cardboard, you name it. I just really prefer working with it. I have some tacky glue over there. Sometimes I use that, but I tend to always go back to the Weld Bond for whatever crazy reason. So there's the front of that. And I noticed today in Cindy's video, she was talking about, when she was doing the journal cards, she was talking about corner rounding. And I'm a fan of the rounded corner as well. So I don't know why. I don't know why. I kind of feel like this needs something else. But then again, I kind of don't. So maybe I will, maybe I'll set this little guy aside because I don't know if I want to accent with green, or maybe because the little casserole dish is green. So maybe I'll do this and I'll do some sort of doohickey up here with the green. Yep, maybe that's what I'll do. I'm notorious for overthinking things, so, but I'm going to try not to do that with this challenge. I'm just going to go with it. We're just making and creating and building our stash, and so that's what we're going to do. So we're just going to go with this. And I don't sew. I wish I did. I used to. I just currently don't have a sewing machine, so it's on my list. One of these days I'll get me one. When I do, I'll be able to do like Cindy does. It's my goal to do like Cindy does. But anyways, I will sew eventually, just not right now. So we're just going to have to go with these edges. But I will add some sort of little topper to that. Yeah, so there's that. Bum, bum, bum. Another thing I'm going to try to do with this challenge is I have a whole stash of, as an artist, I debated long and hard about this. A friend of mine was cleaning out an old storage unit of somebody that they used to work with, so they didn't really know him. But apparently this person was an art teacher or an art student, and there was like a whole portfolio of watercolor paintings. Most of them were abstract, but this is on that thick watercolor paper, and the pieces were huge, and they were kind of old. They're still in good shape. They don't crack when you bend them, but they were like practice. You could tell they were like exercises. They weren't like fine art, finished pieces kind of thing. So I ended up taking these big, I mean, these are huge pieces, and I just kind of ripped them up. Mainly, again, because my function normally is collage. And so, yeah, I was just thinking backgrounds, things like that. But I have a whole box of them, and just a whole array of different watercolor pieces. Most of them, again, are abstract. Some of them are some scenes, but they were on huge pieces. Like this one doesn't look very huge, but it was on a really long, you know, it's like, how can I store these? And so I had to like chop them up. But anyway, so I'm going to try to use up some of these with this challenge this month. Mainly because they're pretty. I really like them. And they're, you know, heavier cardstock type paper that'd be great for cards and tags and all that good stuff. So, yeah. Western theme is one of them that I'm working on. One of my journals that I'm working on. I'm just kind of piecing things together with it right now. I haven't decided on my cover or anything like that. But I have a few things that I'm piecing together for a Western journal. And so I thought I'd work on some of those journal cards for that. This guy, I haven't decided if he's Western or not. He looks like he's like a sheriff. He's a book page. And I dyed him a long time ago, so I don't know what I've dyed him with. But he's cute. My thought process was that I could stick him on here and have a really large journal card with this on the back. This kind of creamy, you can still write there. That's light enough you can write. Even if some of the little blue pulls in, I think it'll be good. I think that'll work. So that was kind of my thought process with this guy. So we'll make a, maybe I should cut him out. What do you think? He's just so interesting to me. Maybe if I cut him out and... Yeah, I think I'm going to cut him out. Because I think he'll go... Let me just kind of... I think they call this kiss cut. Just kind of trim around him a little bit. And see how that works out. If we trimmed around him and put him on this, then we could almost completely get him in the tan for the background. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll kiss him a little bit closer. Don't want to get him too close because we do want to have some writing space. I just thought he was kind of cute looking. Just the way, I don't know. You know how some images, they just speak to you. And for whatever reason, the sheriff was speaking to me. So we're going to work with him. We are gonna work with him. I think that'll work just fine and dandy. Fine and dandy for the sheriff. Maybe we'll name him Randy. Fine and dandy for the Sheriff Randy. What do you think? What do you think? Fine and dandy for the Sheriff Randy. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and trim this because I don't want to get, or do I? I don't want to get into the white. I want his back to be all colored. So let's stick him here. See what becomes. I don't know if he's Western or not. I just can't decide. I mean, because when I think of Western, so like this is kind of what I think of when I think of Western. Although it does say sheriff, new sheriff in town. But the cowboy boots was kind of what I was thinking. But new sheriff in town is kind of cute. Cute, cute, cute. And so then now I'm going to kiss cut again around this. See where this gets me on the flip side. Hear the rain coming down. Oh, I just love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. You know how it is when you get an image, sometimes you just fall in love with it and you can't explain what's going on with him. I just think he's cute though. And he's all nice and pretty and peach on the other side. So yeah, that worked out great. Great, great, great. I think I'll leave him like he is. Excuse me. I tend to want to keep my journal cards real flat. Mainly because, you never know where you're going to tuck them. Sometimes I'll put something at the top, but since his head is at the top, this new little Sheriff Randy, I guess we'll leave him like he is. Yep. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Another thing that I have that's kind of Western-y, and I haven't decided on this yet. Maybe I'll just try it and see what happens. This is a piece of canvas. I don't know if you can see. It's a painting that I did. A pour painting, acrylic pour. And I had it on canvas. I mean, it was on stretched canvas for a long time. And for whatever reason, first off, it speaks Western to me. It's got some shiny gold and Western-y desert. But for whatever reason, it never sold. I sold a handful of these different pour paintings. And, it's soft and pliable. Maybe this could be the cover. So many ideas. So many ideas. Okay, but we're going to chop off a piece of it. See about making a journal card. I'm kind of leery about it because, yeah, we're going to make a cover out of this guy. Maybe we could make a flip. Anyways, set that aside. But I'm kind of leery of it because, as you can see, it's canvas. It's flippy floppy. But maybe if I stick it to a card, it will work out better. We're going to try that. I've got these weird little cards. I don't know what they are, where they came from. Probably in a thrift somewhere. But if I do that, I have a hole there. I can do me a little flu-flu and make that happen. Tie tie a little ribbon around it or something. We'll see. Let's see what we're working with here. Of course, I'm going to use my weld bond. This is canvas onto paper. So I know my little glue stick is not going to handle that. It's not going to be up to that challenge. But I am certain that the weld bond will be. So maybe it won't be so flimsy with this card on it. And it'll end up being a pretty cool little journal card. I have so much junk, it's not even funny. I don't throw anything away. I'm sure you can relate. I'm sure you can relate. I'm looking at my time. I'm making decent time. I am definitely not going to make, I think Cindy made, what, 17 cards today? Which is super impressive. Super duper impressive. So this is interesting because it's flexible and it oddly feels like leather. So yeah, I'll poke a little hole, and of course my hole puncher is over there. I think I'm gonna make a couple of those actually. How many more can I do? Ooh, I can do 3 total. Yep, we're gonna do that. This will really be cool if I end up doing the other big piece as part of, as the cover. Then I'll feel good about using my art that nobody wanted to buy. It was just too pretty. Maybe that was it. It's too pretty. People didn't feel worthy of it being in their house or something. I don't know. Or, I mean, who decorates in Western nowadays? Do people do that? Maybe down in Texas or whatever, but I'm not so sure many people in Arkansas do. So maybe that was it. It just didn't fit their decor. I wonder if I can corner around these. Again, I am a fan of corner rounding. Canvas didn't really like that too much, but yeah, this is kind of cool because it's so weird. It feels like, yeah, the canvas doesn't like that. So I have to work on that. But anyways, I have to get out my bigger corner rounder that I hardly ever use. But anyways, back to what I was doing. What was I saying? Anyway, oh yeah, it feels like wet leather. It's really weird. I mean, I guess because since the one side of the canvas is painted on, that it's smooth. And of course the paper's smooth, and so maybe that's why it feels like leather. So weird. Not the suede soft leather, but the fake leather. We are making fake leather-ish journal cards. Yep, we are. We are doing it. Fake leather. Which is kind of funny because, you know, that's Western leather. Yeah, I find that funny. Maybe it's not, I don't know. I'm gluing off the camera just because, you know, my camera only holds so much. It only wants to show you so much. So, I will have to find my hole punch. Find my hole punch. I don't like to run off the camera. I've got my crocodile, but I don't I mean, I guess I could use its big hole punch. I guess I could do that. We can do that. Might work better than your typical hole punch anyways. It's not as big, but we're gonna work with it. We're gonna work with it, make it work. You're gonna make that work. And then I'll come back and fight with the corner rounder about this thickness, because again, it's canvas and doesn't really want to play that way. That's okay. We'll make it work somehow. We will make it work somehow. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to be using this stuff. That was kind of my thought when I decided I was going to do this challenge, this Mass Make March challenge. I thought, yep, we are going to do this and we're going to use my stuff. So that is what we're doing. We are using our stuff. That guy don't want to come apart, so let's see if this guy does. Why you gotta tie this so tight? Try not to get into the thread. What's going on here? What is going on? There we go. There we go. Goodness. Feisty, feisty. Oh, I've got some of this rickrack I could do. It's a little bitty rickrack. Yeah, I think I like this. I think I'll go with this. Yep, yep, yep. Just a little flu-flu. Nothing major. Just a little flu-flu. Just to add to it. Or I could do another one. Because it's really not a lot, but overthinking it. You gotta tell me to stop overthinking it and just do it. Of course, I can always add more to these when I get down to creating my journal. I can easily add more. I can add some stuff to the front. Or I can leave them like they are. You know, the world is my ocean or something like that. The world is my desert when it comes to working on my Western. Big, vast desert that I can do anything I want to with. Yep, I think I'm going to go with those. It's kind of something here, a little funky going on there. Trim you down like the rest of them. So that's that. I wanted to do something with this, mainly because it's got this junk on the back of it. I wonder if I can fit 2 of those on here. I can. Or do I want to? Got this to play with. This is a piece of a cabinet card. Although, I'm kind of, you know what? I have a little stash of country western stuff, and don't laugh, but again, I keep everything. This is from a can of beans. But this is the kind of beans that the cowboys eat, right? Yeah, this is the kind of beans that the cowboys eat. Right? I think I want to do that. I can make him just that size. I hate to cover that up though, because that's so pretty. Ooh-wee, decisions. That's part of my problem. I have so many cute things. See, so here's what I'm working with over here. This is all my cowboy stuff that I'm playing around with. You see, how pretty is that? There's a cowboy hat. Here's some playing cards. New Mexico. Probably won't do much with those because, you know, playing cards are playing cards. They're cool enough as it is. There's another little piece of that card. It's really not. Buffalo Bill's Wild West. That doesn't give me journaling space. So, think, Michelle, think. Or don't think. Maybe that's the problem. Don't think it. You're overthinking it. French style beans. French style beans. Maybe we'll do that and have like this orange and doesn't really match, but we're gonna go with it. Doesn't really match because that's a bright yellow. But I wonder if I can do that. Yeah. So let's see. Round them corners. Need to get me a new corner rounder. About worn that little guy out. There's my glue stick over here. Ranch style beans for Sheriff Randy. Actually, Sheriff doesn't eat the beans. The cowboy eats the beans, right? Love how I'm just going along with the story in my brain here. We're just going to hope for the best on what the backside of this one looks like as well. And I'm wondering if maybe my glue stick's not going to hold this because it's, yeah, maybe I'm going to give it some trusty weld bond. Maybe one of these days I'll try some art glitter glue or some Fabri-Tac or any of those others that you guys use, but you know, when you find something you like, you just go with it and you stick with it. French style beans, that's so funny. Real Western flavor, see? See? It is the cowboy's beans. Oh, Lord. Lordy, lordy, lordy. I'm going to leave a little bit of a trim on this. And we'll corner around that. But, I have to come in and glue down my corners a little bit better. That's the thing. I tend to get my corners better with the glue stick. I tend to be real hesitant with my corners with the weld bond because I don't want it squishing out and then I have to deal with the glue everywhere. That's funny. French style beans. Yeah, that worked out pretty good. There's some journal space on there. Perfect. Now I want to continue to use this because it matches. It matches the other one. And we like to match. Maybe I'll just... I want something bigger. Overthinking it. I am overthinking it. That matches. That looks pretty good. I can. If I did it like that, I could use that and then use the back as that. Why do I do this? Why do I overthink things? I think part of my problem right now is this is not even. What did I tell you guys? None of this is even right now, so we've got to even that up. Maybe that's what's hanging me up. Why would that curved piece of paper hang me up in my thought process? Who knows? Who knows? Much better. Much better. Kind of like that torn spot. But this other edge is kind of not straight either. It's barely off, but you know, I see it. I feel it. I don't like it. Don't like it. Okay, so my corner, this corner is pretty straight on. I could do that. Or I could just do that. It's a little stamp with the cowboy boot on it, because you know I keep everything. We could have a yeehaw going on. That's for sure I want to use that. Turn this stamp down a little bit to size so I know what I'm working with. Maybe I like the Wild West with the... Lord. Overthinking it, Joe. Overthinking it. Or those cute little boots. Or maybe that's my problem. Maybe if I just did that. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm coming up on some time. So, I'm not getting anywhere. I do want to use this though with the Western because, again, it matches my beans. And I'm so matchy. And of course it matches Western theme too. So, maybe I should just do this and call it a day. Do that and call it a day. Buffalo Bill's Wild West. Although I'm kind of leery to deal with anything too much Wild West because, you know, cowboys and Indians and so many people nowadays are so easily offended. So I don't want to do anything to offend anyone. I really like that torn spot. But it's maybe that's what's throwing me off. Maybe if I just trim. Yeah, see, I'm not getting as much done as Cindy is because I'm overthinking it. I'm thinking. One of these days I won't do that. One of these days. Let's see here. What is this? Lump jaw with the cow. Could do that. I think I like that. It's kind of different. Poor little cow. I don't want to give him lump jaw, but I think I'm going to. I'm going to give that little guy some lump jaw, whatever lump jaw is. We're going to go with it, though. I think I like that. I'm going to leave that end kind of frayed, kind of loose and loosey-goosey. See what happens with it. A lump jaw in your herd means immediate loss. It may mean the infection of the rest of your herd. The only radical cure known by Fleming Brothers. Well, let's hope we don't get the lump jaw because that does not sound good. Whatever it is, it does not sound good. Poor Mr. Cow. Oh, I forgot. I'm on this rough paper that doesn't like the glue stick. Oh, one of these days. There we go. A little bit of weld bond and stuck it down. And this little cow, I think this is the cow we want to use. Make sure there's not something else over here that I need to use. We're going to give this little cow the lump jaw. I wonder if he'll stick or if I'm going to need to put him right there. What do you think? Maybe right there. Yep, right there. Perfect. I think I like it. Around my corners, and then we got a journal card going on the back side. I will, maybe I can do a little foo-foo here on this. Down the side. Gosh, it's horrible when you overthink things. Maybe up here in the corner. Horrible, 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 horrible. We're gonna give him a corner poke and run this little guy through him. Yep, we are. Edge, or we'll go this side here. Ta-da! That's that. Now, am I still going Western? I really would like to use this guy. Maybe I can just, maybe I can just use some paper. Glue to the top of it. Yep. Like an old Western wanted poster or something, maybe. All raggedy and raggedy. Maybe I can do some, yep, we're going to do that. Do I want to trim this? I think I'm going to leave it just because it's ragged and I like it. It's an old photo cabinet card. You can tell where it had a photo glued to it, but not anymore. The photo is no longer. But since I keep everything, I loved this. It's really soft brown. So I kept it. See, this is what I didn't want to do. It dries clear, but it dries shiny. And so, I don't like for it to squirt out because then you can see, I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can see you can see where it squirted out. Even though it's clear, it's just darker there. So I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like it, I don't like it. Maybe it's just some cowboy boots here. Maybe a hat in the corner. Yeah, I think so. Cowboy hat in the corner. One thing I don't like is having just little snippets of random stickers. So I have a hay bale and a horseshoe. Maybe I can throw the horseshoe. Can the horseshoe be on the beans? Can we do that? Again, I just don't like to have, it's like, what do I do with this now? Some random little, I guess I could do him there. Yeah, we'll do him there. Cute. I used that cabinet card. A little smudgy, but that's okay. We're going to work with it. we are going to work with it. We have a hay bale and a yeehaw that I'm probably not going to use. So I have a box of stuff that I'm not going to use. And I always just, you know, save it for when people want to trade me or swap things or whatever. It's my giveaway pile, basically. That was my glue stick lid. So, I'm coming up on almost an hour. So, I think what I'm going to do is stop here. Again, I didn't get as far as Cindy did, but we can kind of go over as far as I got. So, yeah, we did kind of went with the Western theme. This one's the one we just did. I don't think I'm going to add anything to it. I just kind of like it's kind of grungy. I like it. Our beans for the cowboys with the matching. The lump jaw cow. I just think that's funny for some reason. It's probably not very funny in real life. Here's my thick. These guys are thick. Again, I'm going to play with the corner rounder to get these rounded off. I think I'm going to leave them like they are right now. They're kind of westerny. I wish they look so much prettier in person because they're gold and shiny. But anyways, I'm going to leave them like they are right now. And then, of course, when I get into it, I may add something to it. And then here's Sheriff Randy. I think we decided his name was Randy. I used some of that watercolor paper. And then my little teapot that turned into a casserole dish really quick. Like I said, I'll add some foo-foo up here. The only foo-foo I have at my desk is this and some rickrack that doesn't go. So I'll find some green foo-foo and put that up there. And then, of course, my little green tea card for Miss Maple. I'll tuck that in there. So, yeah, that's so cute. Anyway, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 9 done. That's pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm excited. I've been wanting all day to get home and make journal cards. So tomorrow we'll be doing tags, which are, you know, very similar to journal cards, but I'm going to have to get my foo-foos out so I can have strings to tie my tags. So yeah, I hope you guys will follow Cindy at Studio Lou and make along with us. See what we can create for the month of March to build our stash. Yeah, so thank you for watching and hanging around, and thankfully the weather didn't hit too hard tonight. It looks like it's still raining out there, but I think the big weather's supposed to come in tomorrow, so we'll see. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow.